Hi, it's Chris with EntryThingy. This is the Art of the Call podcast, video podcast, where we're talking to artists, curators, and directors of art organizations about their call for entry process. In this episode, it's Michael Corlew of the Viewpoint Photographic Arts Center in Sacramento, California.
Well, I think in the overall planning process, you need to have an outline that shows your dates of beginning, when the show's going to be, and then back up. You know, how long is it going to take to jury the show? How long is it going to take to, how long of space do you want to have for entries to be received? So these are things that come into play, and I think it's something that people don't take into consideration sometimes, is that the lead time involved. If you're talking about doing a show, for instance, it would be on the walls in April, you don't wait to start it until February, because that don't work. You know, you need to have your ducks in a line and get away from this idea that we're just using local, we're going to put it out on the web. We get entries from all over the country, possibly all over the world. You need to have time to handle them, because the number of entries you'll get will be much greater than you get from just somebody bringing the entries to the gallery the week before the show goes up. Well, I think it's very important to put it together in such a way that it's understandable to the layperson and understandable to the non-techie, to the person who is the artist, i.e. whether it's a photographer, whether it's a brush artist or something of that nature. Anyone, a sculptor, anybody, they need to have it in real plain English. Okay, the fee is, it's so many dollars for so many entries. And you need to state that both in written word and in numeric layout so that they understand it very clearly. We need to find sponsorships. We haven't. This gallery, Viewpoint Photographic Arts Center here in Sacramento, is a volunteer nonprofit with zero paid staff. Our entries that where we use EntryThingy, we use it to jury for entries for our juried shows that are held 12 times a year, our normal shows. Actually, it's not juried shows. For their call, we have our calls where we have the 22 shows for that, and then we have the juried shows that we use it for. So the things that we haven't had sponsorships yet. We would like to. It's one of the things that's on the budget, you know, in the planning stages, how to get sponsorships. The economy's been kind of tight lately. Everybody seems to have their wallets tied down fairly snug. So, but we're working on that. It's the connections. I know a lot of it's getting to the people, and then it's timely. You know, it takes the timeliness. You have to have a plan, so that means that you have to have your plans thought out. It's not one of those things that you can just throw together. Sometimes you can throw something together and somebody will say, oh yeah, well, I'll sponsor this or that. But you have to have an idea. The gallery as such we do not at this time look at a high number of dollars coming from the shows, because our main calls for the main part of the gallery, 10 of those shows a year are at no cost to the artist. We don't even back charge them the fee it costs to have the entries come in. So there's no fee to enter if you're entering our main system. And there's no fee to show in this gallery, in the main gallery. There is a $200 fee for members who show in the members section of the gallery. But that's the only fee that's involved. The members and non-members can apply to the main gallery. You don't have to be a member to show in the main gallery. It just has to be juried in. And it's unlike some, and we like to have the images be for sale so that there can be some profit made from that. We have a program right now where they're dealing, and I don't have all the information on it, but they're dealing with the youth, high school kids and college kids actually having a print night, a print review night for those photographers. We deal only in photography, although we do have some specialized photographers in our midst. We have old school, I mean, not just the old school of black and white, but we have alternative process photographers and pinhole photographers, and we have ones that take lenses apart and make different lenses and do all kinds of interesting things. But we are open to any kind of things that are done with photography. Well, the importance is to have someone who can answer the questions, because inadvertently someone's going to hit submit and they weren't finished. And this is where it becomes very important that you have it clear when you hit submit. If you hit submit and you're not done, send an email to some, and they can turn it back on and back the entry up, because that invariably will happen. And it always happens in the last 2 or 3 days. Or they will hit submit at 11:45 on the last evening, and then not request a change, but they request the change the next day. If they send a request immediately, well, we'll take care of it. But and normally we're pretty good about changing things. But that's why it's real important that your information show a contact person, email, sometimes even a phone number. We normally make it on the weekend. That way people, we figure if they're messing with it, they have all day Saturday and Sunday, that's fine. A weeknight when people are working, they may not feel comfortable with getting it done during the week. But if you give them, we usually, I think, make them end on a Sunday at midnight. But there again, you have to be, somewhat flexible, although some places aren't. It has to be someone knowledgeable. And there again, I leave that to the curatorial committee. You want a juror who is respected in the field with some type of credentials. You don't necessarily want someone who is unknown. It's art if they're unknown here, but they should be known in the photographic community.
And more, do you look more for local people, or does it matter?
Doesn't matter. I mean, we were talking earlier, 2 years ago when we had a cell phone show, our juror was in New York State, and that worked fine. Just a matter of time for them to look at the images, send me back the results, and it's instantaneous. It's nice that EntryThingy allows us to send emails to groups that we've marked as accepted or unaccepted or whatever, because when we send ones out that say accepted, then we have to, as we found out the other day, we have to go back and turn the on for jury and entrance to see, so they can see what they entered, because they get an email that says number such is accepted, and the next email we get is, what was it? I entered 5 images, which one got in? So you need to, as a person handling the show, go back and turn the call on so that it is visible to the entrance for a period of time. You may have it turned off for just the juries to look at it while it's being juried, but you need to turn it on so that it can be seen by the entrance. Once the jury process is finished, we have a spreadsheet that goes to our hanging crew, and the curator will decide basically what they want to do, and we come in on a Sunday and strip the place and get it ready to put back up. And they actually can we take everything down. Now it's, I think they're doing it on Sundays and Mondays. It's all volunteers. They come in, take it down, patch the walls, repaint what they need to repaint, package up the show that comes off the walls, and then lay out the new show. And this place is a beehive for a couple of days. And when the gallery opens on Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest, the show's up and ready to go. The curator will work with the installation crew. Now, if an individual artist is in this particular gallery, and they have a layout that we have a diagram of the facility, and we will give them a diagram and say, if they want to lay it out a particular way. Some artists do, some artists don't. It just depends. Well, I think shows are successful when the public tells you they're successful. And they do that. I mean, by coming back in and by coming to the gallery. I think our gallery moved to this location in, it's been 4.5 years ago. And our membership has more than doubled. We're a membership gallery, but we have over 500 members. And I think that's an indication that what we're doing has been successful from that point of view. As far as the photographic art is concerned, it's real hard though to sell photography. It does sell, but there are people who just will not spend the money on photography. There are others who spend quite a bit of money on photography. It's just getting the right people.